Hi, we're here today to talk about submitting your quarterly student data in TopsPro Enterprise. You usually have 1 month after the close of the quarter to get all of your student data in. The exception for this is at the end of Q4, June 30th, you only have 15 days. You only have until July 15th to get your end of year data submitted. And once that data is submitted, you cannot go back and change anything. So let's go ahead and look at how to submit this. Your quarter has ended, and you are making sure before the deadline 30 days later that you have entered in all attendance data, testing data, and student record updates that need to be put into the system. Once you're sure you've put in all data up through the end of the previous quarter, you're going to go into TE and select Tools. From Tools, you're going to go to the Quarterly Data Submission Wizard. Okay. Here, I'm in the simulator, by the way, right now, so I don't mess up anybody's records. You make sure you're in the current year, and then you go next. And hopefully you only have the previous quarter available to you. If you have more than the previous quarter available to you, it means that you forgot to do this data submission wizard a previous quarter. So make sure you do those first ones first before you run the last one. But let's say we've remembered, and here we are with just quarter 3 to take care of. We're going to go to next. And you can select if you're a WIOA or a CAPE funded agency. We're going to say we're CAPE. Yours may not have that choice. You go next. If there's no choices, just always hit next. And then one thing it does is it generates a data integrity report for you. And when you look at this data integrity report, it'll show you what records you're missing. So it'll tell you, of your 1,947 students, 92 of them do not have a birth date. And if you go in and run this, you can run the quarterly data, you can run the data integrity report before you do this, and in fact you should. This just gives you an idea before you do the submission, like, hey, I have a lot of students that I didn't put in their highest year of school. I have 30% of students who have no pre or post test. This is just telling you information that you should go back in and try to fill in if you have it. So this is your data integrity report. You can print it, you can export it. I'm going to just go next for the purposes of this exercise. Now, when you're in this quarterly data submission wizard, you have to choose at least one thing in each of these 4 categories that are coming up. So you need to look at these and say, okay, yeah, we provided seamless and student-friendly intake procedures. And yeah, we developed a formal process for student exits similar to the intake process. Here are the other 2 categories. We developed an alumni program, and we have carefully considered. You need to have at least one checkbox in each of these categories to be able to proceed. So I've checked one in each. I'm going to go to next. And I'm going to say, sure, I reviewed and corrected flagged data in CAPE DIR. This is another place where you can add a comment if you need to. You can say, maybe you don't have testing data for 50% of your students because your school closed for flooding. So you can write something like that here. You can just kind of comment on any discrepancies you may have here. You're going to go over here and say finish. And that is all. You have now run your quarterly data submission, and you are good to go until the next quarter ends. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about this process. Thanks.